So, how did you get started in the music business?
I kind of just made a band and made a role for myself. I didn't really get into the business. At the early days, our first show was in an art gallery, so that really wasn't music business. Then the subsequent shows were like I would organize a show in a church, and just make painted flyers and stuff. So it didn't get business-like until everybody started talking about these shows, and then business people came calling.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really try to get into it as much as, just made music and made shows, and then it just went from there, basically.
So your band, The Hidden Cameras, they have a lot of different musical styles, kind of like throughout the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you ever find it hard to write in those different musical styles?
Well, when I first started writing songs, I just didn't know that you couldn't write songs in different styles. So I just did. It was more for fun, actually. It wasn't...
Yeah.
I didn't think of it as something difficult or easy. And I actually like every type of music, and so I just pursued that as
Would you
interest.
ever, think specifically, I'm going to write it like this, or would you just, start going and then it would just turn into this kind of thing?
Yeah, sometimes I would consciously try to write, I wrote a dub song on my last record, so that was I think I must have consciously decided to do that. And then I was working on this kind of more rootsy country material, which I guess that was a conscious thing too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what inspires you to write?
I don't know. It's it's hard to explain the darkness of the psyche and stuff. Personal experiences, I don't know. It's hard to say, really. That's the mystery of it all.
Was it ever hard to find musicians who would fit really with the music?
At first I actually wasn't even working with musicians. I was working with visual artists, actors, performers. There were some musicians, but eventually it was just a mixture of so many different people, basically.
Yeah. Do you have any regrets about becoming a musician?
No, just because I don't know what else I would do. So I can't say I would have a regret about that. But, of course, regrets in my life.
So do you always write for the sake of creating something, or do you ever just write because you feel like you need to have more songs?
I definitely don't feel like I need to have more songs. I feel like I have too many to remember. And I actually don't write that many songs anymore, just because I just have so many old ones that I haven't even recorded. But yeah, sometimes songs write themselves, and those would be the most powerful ones. When you're not even trying to write a song, it's just kind of you just keep playing the same chords every time you pick up a guitar, and it just becomes a song, and you don't even really think about it so much.
Do you ever wish you had learned to play a different instrument instead of guitar? That is, if you don't play any other instruments.
I don't even feel like I play guitar well, or that's how I thought yesterday. And I did play drums in it for a while in a band in Berlin. So then I was rehearsing every week playing drums, and I sort of became a bit of a drummer. But I haven't played drums in so long, so I'm probably back to being terrible. And I don't really think of it like that. I bought a cello, and I play it once in a while, but I have no technique, and I play it backwards, or left-handed.
Oh.
So that's just a fun thing to have. I always just think of it as fun. I don't really think of it as I've learned this instrument, I don't know this instrument. I think every instrument is... Everyone should be allowed to play every instrument. Badly.
When recording a song, how do you know when to stop?
That's what I need to learn actually. So like maybe someone like you could be like, stop. I just used to love overdubbing all the time, like because I first started writing music and recording on a 4 track. So then you have like 4 tracks, and you just have a limited. You're basically working from limitations, and then I did a record. I think it was not unlimited tracks, but it was I forget the format now. It was a tape, a digital tape. But then when you're working on a computer, you have unlimited tracks, so then
Yeah.
it gets a little crazy. So any future recording, I really want to not max out the tracks, you know?
Do you ever like let other people listen to your music before it's done just to get their opinion on anything?
Yeah, a little too much.
Do you enjoy touring and playing live, or do you prefer to work in the studio?
I think they both are good and have their drawbacks. I think it just depends on the tour, and
Yeah.
it really depends on who you're with and what the shows are and how well it's organized, and yeah, I like them both.
And what makes for a great live performance?
What makes a good, like, an audience for starters, a good set list, a rehearsed band, and then of course unexpected things maybe.
And yeah, those are all my questions, so thank you.
Thank you. Did I answer them okay?
Yes.